Bernard, thank you very much for being available for this short interview video blog that you usually do for the conference. It's a pleasure to see you virtually. Unfortunately, we cannot physically share the same place in Dubrovnik. Their opportunities will come for sure. Still, I think it has been an interesting conference. Discussions kept on, the keynotes, addressing a lot of stuff. And very interesting technology discussions, 6G already. I mean, it's not just 5G, but 6G is already in the agenda. What are your main views of this new format of the conference on the one hand, and also on the technical discussions that have been held?
Okay, many thanks, Luis, for giving me this opportunity to, let's say, feedback some views from the Commission side on the conference. On our side, I find that the conference, although it was at risk at some stage because we had not planned for this COVID crisis to reach us, I think that the committee and all the organizers have made really wonders to make it happen and to restructure and reconfigure the conference in such a way that it could take place. Of course, from our side, we have lost one of the big, let's say, the big stuff of the conference, which is the demos. I mean, we like the demos because we believe that's one of the things which is unique to this conference compared to other conferences which are sponsored by IEEE, for instance. And also the tutorials and the workshops also are things which always add a lot of value to the conference. So that's something that clearly shows the limitations of the online type of instrument. But on the other hand, from the perspective of the mainstream of the conference, which are the panels, the keynotes, and the presentation of the papers, I think here we really have got a very good, let's say, organization, and also very interesting content, which I think has nothing to envy to previous type iterations of this conference. We have got, and now looking more into the content side of the conference, I think we have got a very encouraging messages, and I think this will be confirmed by my boss, Peter Stuckmann, when he will do the concluding remarks, is that we have now, as you know, been working on what comes next in terms of research agenda for the Commission in the next 7 years, the next financial framework. We have tried to put in place this partnership initiative that my director mentioned in the opening speech. And it's very encouraging to hear that everything that was presented over these 2 days really very much conforms to the ideas that we are trying to propose internally with the member states and with the stakeholders. And one thing which I realized, and for me that's one of the key messages, there are many key messages, but what I can see is that we are moving into 6G from two basic perspectives. One track, which is kind of an evolutionary track, which takes a vertical story and pushes beyond what we have in 5G with new KPIs, new requirements, expanding the universe or the limits of the KPIs, and that's one of the track. But the other track, which is also coming very strongly, is the societal type of track, energy efficiency, contribution to green objectives. And this is very interesting from a Commission perspective, because this is something which is really at the heart of the political agenda of this Commission, notably with the Green Deal, support to the Sustainable Development Goals. So this, if we manage to have a very good agenda on these issues in the next 5 to 7 years, I think it will be very interesting from the political side, because we will have also amplified support from their side as contributing to the overall political agenda. And that's what we are trying to build at this moment in time with the stakeholders. But again, conference was extremely encouraging from this perspective, and from many other perspectives, by the way.
So let's check this next year in Porto with a glass of port wine, right?
Yes, that would be, I suppose, one of the combination, because I think this conference, the first iteration started in Portugal some 30 years ago, some many years ago at least, and to have it move back to Portugal, I think will be kind of a cycle. That's a regeneration cycle. We're starting from afresh again from Portugal, and that will be again, I think, a very good message.
Okay, Bernard, thank you very much for being here for this virtual interview.
Luis.